All right. Well, we were at Comic-Con.
Yeah, I've been before. It is super, super fun.
Wait, Alia, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm in my head
God,
because
he
the
said
whole
it
thing
perfectly.
earlier. Guess who else I know?
Who?
Brad Copeland and John Levinstein.
Woo!
Who are those?
They're writers.
People?
Sorry.
They're writers, I know.
Sorry, they're only writers. I've never met.
They're great writers.
I've never met. What's the Will in the show?
Hunting?
No, the one in the show. I've never met any of the actors, but I know the writers.
Who's the Will in the show?
I wanted to say Forte.
Will
I don't know.
Arnett.
There's two Wills that
Sasso.
are intertwined comedically. Listen, man, I'm freaking out. All right, Comic-Con
You're doing
was
great. We know
intense.
people in common. You're safe with me. We're
I
gonna
always
be okay.
get Will Forte mixed up with Will Sasso, and it's really weird.
That's crazy. That's
like
crazy.
you were talking about Will Forte at a party, and I was imagining Will Sasso, and it was hilarious.
What party was that, Spencer?
Oh, that party that there was hot dogs on a plate or some shit, and you were yelling at people in a good
Trying to
room.
tee up, Dan, for the next segment.
Okay.
Oh,
Pick up
tell
the
us about
fucking
your
ball.
party experience, Ryan Ridley.
So every year, Alia, Entertainment
Or
Weekly,
don't.
Entertainment Weekly has a party at Comic-Con,
Right.
and I think it's like the fanciest of the parties in terms of it starts at 9, and then by 10 it's filled to fire code, and then you can't get in.
Right.
That was me just
Should
kind
I
of
pick it up where you left off?
That was my crawl so that you weren't left out of this.
Right.
So
you guys went to this
Well, let me
amazing
give you some
party?
backstory.
Yeah.
I'm in my head a lot. This Comic-Con is weird. I don't know if I should feel more shame, less shame, more insecure, less insecure. I don't know which way the compass should spin.
The what should spin?
The compass, for my
sure.
psychological state of mind.
Yeah.
But I'll have you know that I was invited to the hottest party at Comic-Con,
Ooh.
the Entertainment Weekly party. And I'll have you know that it was all I was talking about at work for the entire week, lording it over everyone's heads. On top of the fact that I found out that Dan and Justin were not invited. I'm a writer on Rick and Morty. I should clarify that. So you understand the relationship
I'm like,
of
who are you?
this hierarchy and this.
How did you
all of
score?
these-
How did you score this coveted invitation?
Jeff?
Because neither did I know about it, nor was I invited.
I was told by haters that it was my agency's behind-the-scenes manipulations. Apparently that's not true. The answer I got was, it's because I'm cool.
Who told you that?
Yeah, did you tell yourself?
His agent told him that.
My agent did tell me that,
Well,
but
wait. Well, what's the difference though? I thought if you're going down the road of it's cool to be invited to a Hollywood party,
You're already in trouble.
Isn't it? No, but I'm saying no, I'm happy to go down that road. You're right. Objectively, you're already in trouble, but I mean, you're in trouble when you wake up. It's a material universe, and I mean, it's until we return to the beams of light that we were originally before the Big Bang. Which happens so that light could bounce off.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Comic-Con 2016. Well, I want to know what happened at the party.
I was just saying, why is it cool? What is the difference if your agency making manipulations behind the scene? Why does that make you less cool in terms of a Hollywood part?
Because they're haters. They're haters. They're trying to detract from his achievements.
But why would that detract
Thank
from it?
you, Spencer.
It's like
usual, you get me.
Yeah, man.
If you have, like, a
you're like
badass
George
agent
Costanza.
Can
I just realized that tonight.
Can I explain something? Exactly.
That's what he'd
This is
say.
what he doesn't get. I'm running all of this experience we're about to talk to, all of Comic-Con, the entertainment. It's all through a filter. It's like, I don't belong. I shouldn't be here.
What are these haters
I hate
saying?
myself. What's going on?
Give me an example of a hater and what a hater said to you about this. Who was hating?
That's probably. There's one of them.
Co-workers?
Here she is.
Other writers on the staff of Rick and Morty?
Were they trying?
Associate producers? PAs?
Were they trying to diminish your potential joy in this party? Were they like?
No, Jeff. They were trying to. Of course, that's what they're always trying
haters.
to do.
Well, what happened at the party? You walk in, you say your name, they go,
see
you're
Will
on the
Forte.
list.
Well, but hang on.
See, Will Forte.
Hang on, Ryan. But you said you were lording it over everybody, so of course you created your own
Yeah,
haters.
you know, he did do that. He came in.
You're
I got invited
a
to
hater
the
creator.
EW party, baby. And it's like, of course you're gonna take a shot at that. I didn't even stoop to take the bait. I just called my agent and said, why am I not on the EW list? I just found out Ryan fucking Ridley is.
Exactly.
Haters.
All right, so
So the first person we saw when we walked in was Will
Sasso.
Forte. God damn it, Spencer.
Just picture Will Sasso for this story. Continue.
And all of a sudden we see, are we allowed, I mean, is this even acceptable to talk about these people and what they're doing behind the scenes of things?
It's the EW party, right?
what do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to make Will Forte look bad. Actually, no, he was a hero.
Use your own judgment. if
Okay,
it's
basically we
defamation.
saw him and he couldn't get in, or he didn't want to go in, or he clearly came and then changed his mind at some point. I don't know what happened, but he was like, I'm out of here, we're going to another bar, and this and that. I'm looking at that and going, what the fuck hope do I have? Fucking Will, I don't understand how this party works. They're not letting Will Forte in? I'm sitting here thinking, I'm on the list. Finally, I'm on the list. The list means nothing.
Yeah.
What time are you getting there, too? Is this like towards
I
the
don't know,
end,
10,
towards the fire
10:30?
code?
10:30? Party starts at 9? Cool time.
Word of God.
It's packed.
I
right?
asked multiple friends to see if my friend could get in, and they're like, it's already at capacity. It seems like it's going to be like rough to get you A on the list and then B in. So
The only thing that haunts me about that is that we did the entire time we were standing outside waiting to be let in. There was one exception to that rule. They seemed to be abiding by strict fire code in letting people in, except the fucking workaholics guys. Right past us like a goddamn bullet
They
train.
own
said-
Comic-Con, those dudes. It feels like.
Our glib enmity is becoming real now. I'm so jealous of them. And
There were professional football players who I was told were professional football players standing there. I didn't recognize them, certainly. But there are people, Will Forte is getting turned away. We're sitting here, Dan Harmon, I guess he's a big deal. They're not letting any of us in. And all of a sudden, the fucking workaholics, 2/3 of them, by the way.
Which one was missing?
I don't know, the one in the Pitch Perfect movies.
well, obviously, ironically, the actual
Adam.
workaholic from their troupe, you know, the guy who's back in LA
was
making
working.
phone calls.
Yeah.
he's working, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Can't
like,
stop being a movie.
and they get the whistle and the wave.
Yeah.
And they just stroll right past
Last
us.
Comic-Con, I was hanging out with them, and Tom Green rolled up and was like, you guys want to smoke some weed? We were like, all right. And we were smoking at a hotel lobby with Tom Green and the workaholics dude. Great
Those guys, the first time I ran into them at Comic-Con, I had to find out retroactively after a guy talked to me for a half hour asking a bunch of weird questions about New Zealand, that they had convinced that guy that I was Peter Jackson.
Oh, that's a great joke.
It was really funny.
That is so good.
It's like the only guy who arguably was hurt by it was a guy who kind of like, I guess in practical joke karma, like
Right. Was
he
like,
deserves
oh.
it. Like he should, if he's such a fan of Peter fucking Jackson, he should know I'm not Peter Jackson, right?
Right, true.
Like I don't have an accent. But he was definitely
shouldn't be
like,
that easily
he was a little
accessible.
traumatized. I mean, he was like,
Yeah.
because the punchline of the story is the guy's like after like his 30, he's like, I said I've never been to New Zealand, and the guy's like, okay, very funny, but like when you're shooting there, like what are they? And I was like, when I was shooting there, I don't know. I'm a writer, and the guy went, those fucking guys told me you were Peter Jackson. Like he was so.
Oh, it's so good.
He looked over at that. They couldn't have written it better. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, you assholes, and they were like, they were. I wouldn't even say they were cracking up because they probably do that every 5 minutes. They're
Right.
like,
They're almost like bored by their own sensibilities. They're like, we know it's funny.
yeah.
No, I like those guys. Though.
So you guys got into the party eventually?
Yeah, what happened in the party, man?
Dan, you were saying earlier that there was a control bouncer guy that was going a little over the edge.
No human being should be given that much power. Like there's always checks and balances. There was a 25-year-old kid who for the first time in his life was like, he's like telling people he might recognize from movies and stuff they can't come in. He was like told to hold the line, and he fucking snapped.
Love isn't always on time.
He was inconsolably like he had lost his mind. He was like the guy that Tom Cruise has to kill in the basement in War of the Worlds. Like like he had just become like more strategy than man. Like he had just to the point where he was psychotic.
His own mother's like, "What are you doing, Bobby?"
Because we got this happened twice. Like we got waived by my friend Dan Sneerson, who I happen to have on my phone. So I'm like, I know a guy from Entertainment Weekly, and Dan Sneerson comes out. Because he's anticipating that it should be pretty easy to get somebody in. He works there, so he waves me forward, so we have to walk past all the people that can't get in, and we stand there. But then the bouncer guy was like man, so it's like his head was just wagging all the time, like he, like everything that was being said to him was. Go fuck yourself and your whole family, and then whatever you were actually saying. Like he was just like adding
and
this.
Do you know where the bathroom is?
Yeah, and I was like, I said, I got a little smile out of him. I think I diffused him just a hair because he kept doing that, and I said like you're gonna be. I said you're gonna be fine. Like no one is gonna get in there, and I would not have come up here if I had been led to believe that it was like you're doing fine or something. And I think that just hit him like a drop of carbohydrates. Like it just made his, maybe he was just like showing teeth, like maybe I misinterpreted it as a smile. Anyways, hard to get into the party, but you're welcome. Because eventually Dan Sneerson, who is the mensch of the millennia, because this guy could have just blown me off. I would never talk to him.
It's such a terrible dynamic too, when you're like, I don't even want to go to the stupid party that they won't let me in, but then it gets to the point where you're like, I have to get into this party.
Wait, Dan, are you saying Are you saying that without you, Dan Harmon, and Dan Sneerson, the improbably named Dan Sneerson, that Ryan fucking Ridley wouldn't have got into that party?
No way. We were all on the list. Like this was about fire code. Okay.
This is about games, is what it was. Let's be honest. Why invite people to a party? Say RSVP with a +1, and then you'll be able to get into the party. And suddenly now, you can't get into this level. Oh, now you can get to this level, but there's 9 more levels after that. What the fuck kind of game are they playing? Why are they doing this to me? I'm the hero of the story. I don't know if the audience, I feel like, is like, this guy's the fucking villain of the story. I'm the hero of the story. I'm the hero. This isn't my world. I don't get invited to these parties. And I'm like, oh, I'm getting invited to this party. And I brought my best friend from childhood that we've known since we were 8 years old. He's never even met a celebrity. He's never even been in California. And I'm giving him the time of his life. He's getting high with the waif on the yacht. He's with the Dr. Drew and Eazy-E, giving him noogies and stuff at this party. I mean, this guy...
Dr. Drew and Eazy-E, or Dr. Dre and Eazy-E?
Which is the one that gives advice on TV shows?
Okay, Dr. Drew.
Yeah, those two were together. I don't...
Because Eazy's dead. Yeah.
The young actor who played Easy, I'm not an idiot. He was the one that was with Dr. Drew.
But do you
psychologist.
think they thought it was funny that he was hanging out with a Dr. Drew that was like kind of like Dr. Dre? Do you think that?
All kinds of strange pairings at this party. You wouldn't believe it, such as.
Well, I really just want to brag. This isn't funny at all, but like when you're gonna take us across the threshold of the party, right?
Hopefully.
But I do just want to add that Danny McBride like came up to me, and because he's a fan. I don't know if he's a fan of the podcast or if he's just Rick and Morty. I can't remember. But he wanted
something tells me it's Rick and Morty.
He wanted to meet
the podcast.
Me. That's exciting, right?
Okay.
Who's like somebody that like blew your mind?
Was the podcast in the new trailer for Justice League? Anybody know about that little ditty? Thank you.
He's an unacquirable taste.
It's like George.
So there's a
I wish I was at the party with you.
Yeah.
To see it through your eyes.
Remember my hijinks? I was yelling at people.
Oh, it's great to have hijinks. Yeah. I always do pranks at big parties. They were all so serious,
these Hollywood people. So serious at this party.
He just stood up, everybody.
Jesus Christ.
He dropped that microphone on accident and then did what a cat would do, which is just he turned it into grooming himself. It was so clearly an accident.
So Ryan, you are the self-proclaimed hero of the story. You've just walked us across the first threshold, I believe, right?
Yeah. When do you become active? What happens?
Well,
give us the key scene.
We find out that Dan Sneerson can get us into the next area, which is just another place to wait to get into the party, but a little bit nicer.
Well, I will say a lot nicer, because he kept bringing us hot dogs and drinks. This guy who's like works at Entertainment Weekly, who interviewed me about Heat Vision and Jack 20 years ago, and he's done. I think say that maybe it's that because of that we have like this bond, because he's done interviews with me since then, and so we were kind of like kids in the industry together, Alia.
Sure, I can relate to that.
Like there was a fraternal bond there, maybe, or maybe he's just like a super
and he
fucking amazing.
You. He's probably like, I'm sorry, this is so fucked up.
I know, but it was like his party, and so he was missing it, and he brought us hot dogs, and he was taking drink orders. But and the party was so crowded, and then this waiting area.
Is this like in a hotel?
It's like a hotel courtyard.
The Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh my god!
And so the waiting area.
That just blew my mind. Okay.
I was at my happiest there because there were hot dogs, and I kept thinking if you just flipped it easily, that crowded hot area. If Johnny Depp was over here and you were told that this was like the platinum,
then that would be the area.
Because it's like a place where you can go like this and
yes,
like you ever go to the Viper Room and it's like so it's weird, that culture of this little tiny booth that's like having a table is a VIP thing at the Viper Room and it's like, but if you put that table anywhere else, you'd be like, I'm doing you a favor by sitting here.
The
this
game
is
they
really
played
uncomfortable.
is we got into the party, the waiting area, and it was open. It was just the six of us that were together, and we're at this table. And by the way, immediately open bar, spread out, gray, magical, amazing, wonderful, fresh air. And they're bringing us churros and hot dogs, and we're laughing, and we're vaping, and we're having a good time. But I'm still thinking, but I want to get in fucking there, which looks miserable. Why do they do this to us?
It's about the search. It
became a game.
Of course,
it became a game, right? That's what we decided.
It was because I wouldn't have tolerated if it wasn't the Sneerson factor turned it into a role playing game, because it was like there was a thing that needed to be unlocked. Like Minecraft or something, like you needed to make something to make something to make something, and I did get, that's the longest I've ever waited for anything, and I was kind of held together with this sort of quest aspect of it.
Because they kept saying 5 more minutes, and then we'll go, and then you know what I mean, and then you go like, well, maybe 5 more minutes after that too, and then you don't want to, it's like gambling, it's like being at the casino.
Also, Ryan, you had talked so much shit to your coworkers for the past 7 days that you now have to get into this party. You can't go back home with your tail between your legs and say that you didn't get in.
And that was fueling every fiber of my being that night.
So here's the weird thing about the party: you finally get past the threshold, and the party, it's around a pool. Can
I tell one little detail that's going to come back later in the story? Mm-hmm. So while we were out there, I was trying to, play the game of all right, let's have a little fun with the situation. I knew we were the losers technically, and they're the winners, and they're on the other side, And they bring us hot dogs. So there's a room that had like a patio that went out to kind of our area, but it was also on the other side of it was the real party, and it was a private room. These people were in it. I didn't see who was in it. I grabbed the hot dog and I went up to that and I leaned over and I go, yeah, you guys might be in that party, but you don't have hot dogs, And they're kind of like not looking at me, basically acting like you guys are acting right now.
There's no wall between you two?
No, there's no wall. No.
It was like a plexiglass Pope Mobile wall. It was like it was like bulletproof.
This is going to pay off later. This is going to pay off. They whoever was in there definitely heard me screaming. This is going to pay off later.
So you're just yelling at strangers.
Do you mean Taylor Swift? Because that's who you were yelling at. Did you not notice?
I was yelling at the Hollywood elite, Jeff.
So far,
young Hollywood elite.
So far, you are definitely the hero of the story.
Thank you.
There's no dispute there.
So remember that detail. So then we get finally let into the grand event. Dan?
Okay, so it's in the courtyard of a hotel, and there's a pool, and so you're partying around the pool, and but in the pool, because what are you gonna put in the pool? Like awards. There's water in it, but what do you do? Do you put copies of your magazine? They'll get wet, I don't know. So
you put a greased shark and a bunch of cones.
So in the pool is a bunch of the it's the, what do you call them, lifesavers, the is that what you call them, the
inner tubes.
Yeah.
Inner tubes.
when they're like, yeah, like
floaty bits.
Yeah, they're like little smaller inner tubes. And also a bunch of young people like that were hired, like models that were just like
in bathing suits, just like
yeah,
swimming
they was
around?
just like treading water and like hanging out on the floaties. And it was like, and everyone was just like kind of staring at them like we were all, no matter how famous you were, if you were out of the pool because they were in the pool,
You were better than them.
but simultaneously you were reduced to like, it was like the white-haired guy that shows up at the party in Boogie Nights that ends up like having to have the Coke girl like like that guy with the gray hair that like just looks at Wahlberg's dick and then it's like, it's pretty nice. Nice to meet you. Kind of like weird Jackie Gleason, Jeff the Killer like guy.
And they're all like pruny and like forced to stay in there. They're like, I'm so thirsty.
But we were
You're like,
all
I can't hear you,
like because we're like, what else are we supposed to look at? So everyone's just staring at these people in the pool. And I'll tell you, like, I was kind of like, and somebody came up to me and said, "Can we ask you some questions? Like, what do you think about this pool thing?"
You asked the people in the pool this question?
No, they asked me what I thought of the people in the pool.
Oh, I see.
And I said, I just can't get over the fact that the crazy thing is that right now, if I got into the pool, that would be the weird thing.
Right.
I was just like freaking out about that. So I'm standing at a hotel and I'm in the courtyard of a hotel, and there are humans being used as art.
I hope they.
And also
but I could ruin everything by using the pool right.
They're like, Dan Harmon got in the pool.
Or just anybody, though. If it was like a family from Iowa got in the pool, everyone would be like, Jesus Christ, do something.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about me going in the pool in my own head, and I was like trying to weigh. Like, this could be the coolest move ever. I'd be the guy who fucking went, woo! Fuck the facade or the veneer of we're all too cool to go in the pool in this fucking party. I'm gonna go in and everybody will talk about me and know my name. I hate the Hollywood elites. I hate them.
Did the pool people count towards the capacity of the fire code?
I don't know.
Because that's stupid as fuck.
I think they were technically fireproof because they're wet.
Right, they are in water.
They're there to watch everybody burn.
They're no danger. They're the only people that could live through a fire for like 36 hours, like until all the water evaporated, and then be like, it's getting hot in this pool. But they've got all of that time to,
Like, we're still on the clock, man.
Now, what were these? How many of these model swimmers were there?
There were like I would say
7.
I think they were like shifting. There was a little bit of a rotation there.
Yeah, they got breaks.
Looked like there were 7 or 8. But the thing that really threw me, because I was just like watching, and I was super high, and so the whole thing had like this weird like kind of like that's weird. It just makes you feel. Yeah. But I kind of appreciate that stuff because then you get the luxury of feeling like Hunter S. Thompson. Like that's a favor they're doing you. Like it's like, oh, this party's crazy. Like I kind of feel like if it wasn't, we'd be disappointed. If there wasn't like some weird fucking thing that you could like roll your eyes at.
Out of those parties is like how odd they are that they're like humans are treated differently.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna play Baldur.
They're like,
exactly.
You're marveling
at the caste
minutes.
system. Yes.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I guess I can shit on your face, and that's okay. And they're like, it would be kind of okay.
Well, yeah, David Cross has that extended bit about like when desserts have like gold leaf on them, and it's just like, fuck you, I can't even digest this. I'm just gonna shit it out of my asshole after you serve it to me. It's gold. It is like it's like what we use interchangeably words like like red carpet stuff like luxury, pizzazz, glamour, the La La Land, and all this stuff. But it's like all it is just
super
like
seedy.
It's just this fantasy of like, holy shit, like what we're in the Running Man, and like you're running and I'm not, and like so I was like, that's why anyways, like, and if you called something a VIP something, I'm in. Like I'd pay $50 for the Letters VIP to be added to an otherwise identical ticket that I had into an empty warehouse where nothing happened except farts. But if I'm going, then I want the VIP ticket to the fart house. but so the weird thing for me, the deal breaker was I wasn't like offended by any of it. I was just like high and like kind of going, this is funny. Like it's like I always like this is a good chance for me to pretend I'm in the first scene of someone's biopic, you know, like because it's like the camera's got to be coming down on this, like because it cost money to produce this set. So like and there's like a bunch of people here, so there must be maybe Frank Oz is meeting someone in the corner, or like this is
like and Dan Harmon was there.
Yeah, it's like I'm part of a panning thing. Like, it's like and I'm going like the thing about Community, like what would I have to say to be recognizable in this like panning shot? Bing ding 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 boom boogie fever, whatever. Yeah. So but the thing that really threw me about the pool thing was this: there was this one kid, this dude. There was music playing, and he kept like rapping with the. He was like if it was hip hop, he was rapping along with the music. And I was like,
the guy who was hired to just swim in the pool.
Yeah, it was throwing me because he was like sending this direct visual and audio signal. It's like, no, I'm here at the same party.
Here too, yeah.
Like this is all happening to all of us at the same time, and it was like, ugh, stop it. Like you're supposed to be like you're supposed to you're supposed to be detached. It would be like if a burger grew legs,
right?
Like on your bun and tried to like it was like. You'd be like, this is bad, and the chef would be like, no, I think that's great. You like beef, don't you? And you'd be like, no, I like discs of meat.
Were the other people in the pool being like, Henry, what are you doing, man?
I think they were like, they float away from him a little bit because they're like, I'm not fucking hitching my inner tube to that star.
There's one pool person that was showboating. You're saying, is that what the gist of this was?
He wasn't really. He was just having a good time. What I'm saying is that's the reason why he was doing the thing that threw me. It's not his good time that threw me. What threw me was the actual just audio visual stimulus of him like instead of just floating aimlessly in the pool, which I thought was like, oh, it's like future art. It's like handsome people in the pool. Like yeah, you're sexy. Like be our pool. Like it's a cauldron. We're witches. We're like boiling you, and your essence is like. And
then one of them's like, do it. You're like, no, stop.
Yeah, you take like a canoe oar and kind of stir them a little bit, like there's
just like put one under.
There's one guy at every EW party that's like, oh, Herman can't. He's always got to man the pool. And he's like keeps flipping the actors in the pool.
What do you think the explanation was? Do you think that it was they all lined up before they got in the pool, and their boss said, all right, listen, here are the rules, this, that, and the other thing. The breaks are every 15 minutes. This and that. And also, no, don't just zone out and stare dead-eyed and kind of float around. Don't talk.
Just have fun with it. Just be yourself.
And then he was the one who broke the rule. Or it was the opposite, and they were like, you guys, have fun, rap, riff with yell up at the celebrities and do bits with them and have fun, make it a show. And they're all like, these idiots are not doing anything. He's like, well, I'm fucking doing it.
No, yeah, maybe it has, it could easily be that the rest of them are like, fuck this, I'm going dead inside.
Yeah.
Or we don't know, like some said, like you remember that list leaked to Kanye, like people like, oh, Kanye's so crazy because he wants such specific things. But like, think about it, he was doing the same thing, and so the list was like, don't make eye contact. It was like a really specific list of like things that human art should do at a party.
Well,
I kind of get it if you're going to go through the threshold, as I would never, of using humans as art. I understand like having a very meticulous list of like, I want to do something really specific here, like where every 5 seconds you all go, or I want you all to coordinate emotionally. I want you all to feel washed
the real
out.
Effect of the art, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it's like humans doing something not natural.
Yeah.
It should be like a screensaver where you're like, okay, they're doing this again. It's floating.
Yeah, but there was a kid in the middle going,
that shape's gonna float by again. There it is. You know what I mean?
And he was like patting the water and making little splishies, like to the beat. Like,
this all makes sense.
I love hip hop all day long. I like da da da. And it was like somebody stun him.
He must have been the guy.
Ruining the art.
tape a taser to one of these sticks we used to stir them.
Because he was showing humanity, and that breaks your heart. They're like, oh, he's actually.
It was a reminder. Yes, because then it becomes now you're at a party with strangers, some of whom can't get out of the pool. Yeah. As opposed to being at a party where humans are art. Yes, right. Exactly.
Do you think any of these people in the pool knew that there was actually a hero in their midst?
who was contemplating
Somebody
joining
had
them.
come to the party against all odds to save.
I know a kindred spirit when I see one. And this guy, you know what else he did? Kenny Powers walked by, and all of a sudden he started going, he was the only one of the pool people. He just started going, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. And I was like, that's the fucking dork. And then,
guy in the pool did that
a
to
beat
him?
later, I was like, that's me. I'm that pool guy.
I kind of
But
felt
I'm
like,
out of the pool.
I felt like when they were getting their pictures with people, it was toward the end of the party, and it was like people charging onto the field after like a soccer game or something.
Right.
Like,
Like, you got 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think they were like, okay, all right, get your fucking autographs.
And get the fuck out.
I think it's time for me to bring back a little plot point in our story.
Oh, which one?
So, just when you go through the first threshold, and you wait in the first level of purgatory, and then the second level, and then the hot dogs come, you finally get into what you think is the promised land. And you wander around, and you're like, oh, more Game of Thronesers, and you're just rubbing up against them, and you don't care, and there's the guys from Arrow, and it's like a living wax museum. And all I'm doing with my buddy, who's never even met a celebrity, is just like, look at that person, look at, and we're here too, and we're all sharing the same air. And I walk up to this one goddamn room, and I'm like, well, I'm in. I worked hard for this. I'm going everywhere. I'm going to use the whole buffalo of this party. And I walked up to this fucking room, and I look in this room.
Emergency exit?
And there's 2 giant dudes standing there, but they could have been just regular guys. I couldn't quite tell. They were wearing polo shirts. And I look past him, and I see James Cameron.
Oh yeah, I heard
there was
a
one
James
more
Cameron.
level of elite, and beside this fucking concentric circle of eliteness, just when you think we're all one now, we're all the Hollywood elite. Fuck everybody else.
Is he alone in the room, or what's his little area
Yes.
look like?
Yeah, he has
He's
no
just sitting
equal.
there like-
Just him.
He's waiting for Steve Jobs' ghost to like float in before he can have a
He's the
conversation.
loneliest guy in showbiz. Everybody knows that.
Heavy lies the
No
crowd.
friends. Okay. Nobody wants to hang out with him.
It's Celebrity Highlander.
He's like, yeah.
But actually, there was a point when there was a whistle and a wave, and the pool guy got up and went into the James Cameron room, and he's like, that guy's
The one
good.
that had pleased him with his rapping. Bring me the spry lad.
He's like, so you're comfortable in water for that long, huh?
How much for the
just
pool
cut to the
people?
Eli Roth thing with James Cameron in a fucking ivory bathtub, the kid's like dangling in chains over him, and he takes like this scythe.
You exist in the water!
Rubbing himself in his blood. Oh. And there's a speakerphone in the corner. It's just his agent going like, okay, so Avatar 3, do you do IMAX or are we going direct to schmake? What? Why are you? What is happening to you? I'm smack. I gotta go.
Wait, I want to follow that guy's story.
Yeah. Smack.
Hangs up the phone. He's like, I can't represent James anymore. I'm losing my mind.
There goes Todd. He can barely speak, but he's James Cameron's agent.
Doing great.
What are you gonna do? Smack.
By the way, if you haven't guessed already, that was the room that I yelled about the hot dogs into. Thank you very much.
Got it back.
Yeah.
So,
James Cameron
That's
heard
a
me rubbing those
callback.
hot dogs right in his fucking face.
I never. This never happened to me at a party before. I at one point, Spencer Grammer, who is Summer on Rick and Morty, her husband. Get this, he's an Irish firefighter.
Spoiler, really good looking.
Yeah. You didn't picture like it's like how much more manly can you get? Like, don't you?
He looks like an underwear model who's also an Irish firefighter.
I was trying to explain to him,
God.
like, he didn't quite understand, but after a while he's like, you're right. Because I was like, no, I'm sure Irish fires are harder to fight. And he's
you're
like, what do
drunk,
you mean?
probably,
Well, like the timber's different? I was like, no, the fucking, like, your people are different. Like, they've been through the worst.
Like, they're more extreme,
I'm
so
sure
their fires
when
are
an
crazy.
Irish house is on fire, the fire is just a couple degrees hotter and harder to put out.
He's Northern Irish too.
There's
That's
certainly more
man.
flammable fluids around.
I wasn't connecting those dots. I was more
That's
like,
right.
I was praising
I
their
went there. No
warrior
more politically
spirit,
correctness.
They're beset upon history and heritage. So bummed I turned out not to be Irish.
I thought you were
said
doing
in my DNA I'm fucking British.
You are no Irish?
I'm British and
I'm
Polish.
Irish. Sorry.
Dan, I was sitting right next to you when that happened, and I thought you were doing an IRA joke because he's Northern Irish.
Oh no, yeah. Why would I do that? That's like.
Well, I mean, I think he.
What am I, the guy who
So
says the wrong things all the time? Why would you ever think that I would put my foot in my mouth?